Welcome to Sunday's Thanksgiving edition of Airchecks. Ma Perkins, sometimes called Occidental's own Ma Perkins, is an American radio soap opera which was heard on NBC from 1933 to 1949 and on CBS from 1942 to 1960. It is considered to be the longest-running radio soap opera of 7,065 episodes. Ma Perkins was the story of America's Mother of the Air, a benevolent, self-sufficient widow who owned and managed a lumber yard in the fictitious town of Rushville Center. The show premiered in August 1933 on Cincinnati station WLW. By December, it had moved to WMAX/Chicago and joined the NBC network. As played by Virginia Payne, Ma Perkins was kind and sometimes trusting to a fault. She offered homespun philosophy to any and all who needed it, including her children Evie and Faye, Evie's husband Willie and Ma's business partner, the down-to-earth shuffle shober. The brainchild of soap opera creators Frank and Ann Hummert, Ma Perkins had its share of melodrama, cliffhangers and personality conflicts, but it could also move at the slow, deliberate pace indicative of life in a small town. The show ran on NBC and CBS, sometimes simultaneously, until 1960. At times, it was broadcast in Canada, Hawaii and throughout Europe. Payne, who was only 23 when Ma Perkins first went on the air, played the title role for the show's entire run. Virginia Payne died on February 10, 1977. Ma Perkins and Virginia Payne were inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame in 1988. This is the last episode of Ma Perkins, which aired on CBS on November 24, 1960, titled as Thanksgiving Day.
And now CBS Radio brings you Ma Perkins. Hi, this is Dennis James with a tune that really brings back memories. Sure does bring back memories, doesn't it? Well, here's something else to remember. For youthful regularity, you try Kellogg's All Bran, the whole bran cereal that relieves irregularity from lack of bulk. It's ALL-BRAN. Kellogg's All Bran. And now for Ma Perkins. Well, there's lots to give thanks for today. All might be well with Charlie and Mary Lindstrom. They're moving east for Charlie's fine new job developing his invention. And things might go better for Dr. Valentine, too. But what gives Ma the greatest happiness is that Junior and Anushka's mother are in town for Thanksgiving. Without further ado, let's join them. Dinner's not until 3 o'clock, but the family likes to gather early. And so we find Willie and his son Junior around 2 o'clock walking up the street toward Ma. Listen.
Well, gee, Junior, that sounds just great. And this professor thinks you got talent for it? Well, that's what counts.
He's my counselor. He's the one who follows your career in college and gives you advice. That's what he is, your advisor.
And he really recommends a career in teaching, huh? I can't help laughing, Junior. It's such a surprise that I should have a boy who wants to be a teacher. Nobody could ever teach me anything.
Maybe I could get my practice requirements working on you, Pop.
No. Work on your mother. With me, you'd flunk. Tell me, what does Anushka think about it?
Well, that's the best part. I don't know if we ever told you, Pops. Anushka might win the Gertrude Hawthorne Prize for the best woman student on the campus. Anushka's practically straight A.
No kidding. Is it a big prize? How much?
Oh, it's not so much the cash. Only $1,000. But the important part is...
Only $1,000? Your old man has to work like a dog for practically a year to make and keep $1,000. Just listen to that kid. Only $1,000.
Well, I didn't mean it that way. I meant that the importance of the prize is worth even more. You can practically name your fellowship at any university in the world. And, well, if Anushka wants to go into advanced research and I want to become a teacher, we might be able to work it out.
Me, Willie Fitz. I never got past the second year in high school. And I got a son who wants to be a college professor. And his wife is practicing to be a genius. In what field does she plan to be a genius?
International relations. And, of course, she already speaks 3 languages, and she's studying 2 more. You understand why it's so important to her, Pop. Her family is part Polish, part Bohemian. Now they're American citizens, they want to work for world peace. It's so thrilling.
Junior, let me tell you what's thrilling. It's thrilling for a nobody like me to have a boy like you. I talk a lot, but let's face facts. You could send me over Niagara Falls in a barrel along with 10 million other guys like me, and the world wouldn't miss us one speck. Today is Thanksgiving Day, and what I'm going to give thanks for is that I live to see it.
There's no reason to sell yourself short, Pops. I always thought you were a pretty swell guy.
Honest, Junior, you really look back and you think I gave you a square shake?
Sure you did. I always liked the way you were so popular in town. From the time I was a little kid, people would say, that's Willie Fitz's kid, Willie and Eddie's. And everybody would smile.
Huh? Oh, wait a minute. Why do they smile? I'm just as good as they are.
Pops, you're the best. Well, here we are at Grandma's.
Yeah. Junior, let's stand here and sniff. Maybe we can sniff the turkey and the pumpkin pies away out here.
Let's go in and get a real sniff.
Is this the Silver Dollar Saloon and Cocktail Lounge? Service, please. That ought to produce somebody.
Paying guests only at the front door, all others to the rear.
Hi, Miss Girl. Hey, doggone it. You just get prettier all the time and taller. Ain't you reached your full growth yet?
I'm wearing high heels.
Oh.
Let me take your coat, Father Fitz. Your young friend can give me his coat, too.
Isn't she fresh, Pops? Come here, freshness.
Father Fitz, that's kind of cute. Well, while the two of you are doing that, I'll hang up my own coat.
The freshness is on your lips, cool from the windy day. I haven't seen you since 11 o'clock last night.
There was a while there during the night when I didn't think about you. It was while I was sleeping. I only dreamed about you.
For that, I will hang up your coat.
Willie? Did you bring... Oh, and Junior. Abby is bringing Mrs. Halleck in the car?
Yes, he is, Grandma.
Oh, good. Well, Sayer's just gone upstairs to feed the children, and Tom went over to get Shuffle. Decided to go for a little walk together to build up their appetites, they said. So there's nobody to keep you company, Willie, unless you want to come back in the kitchen with me.
Sure, give me an apron, tell me what to do, and the kids will be glad to do without me.
Come on upstairs with me, Anushka. I got something in my pocket for the kids.
All right, unless you leave me in the kitchen, Grandma.
Not at all, dear.
Ma, this is the greatest Thanksgiving of my life. He said I've been a good father to him. He's going to be a college professor, Ma. Can you imagine, Ma? Me? The father of a professor?
Friends, today is Thanksgiving Day, and the Staley folks, makers of famous Stay Puft laundry rinse, are saying goodbye to a good friend, Ma Perkins. Yes, after loyal sponsorship for a long time, today is the last day that Stay Puft will be able to sponsor this much-loved series because it goes off the air tomorrow. True to the traditions of Thanksgiving, we're thankful indeed that we've been able to share in bringing you this outstanding program for so long. We're grateful for the hospitality of our listeners. Through your radios, you welcome the Stay Puft story into your homes, and we know that hundreds of thousands of you are loyal Stay Puft users. We hope you'll continue to be. Yes, let us urge you to keep up your rewarding friendship with Stay Puft, America's largest selling laundry rinse and fabric softener. And now, goodbye, Ma Perkins. We're sorry to see you go. And to our good friends everywhere, remember STAPUF, Stay Puft, the miracle laundry. Now back to Ma and our story. Well, we rejoin Ma in the kitchen. Willie has indeed taken off his coat and put on an apron and made himself useful. And now he comes back into the kitchen and...
We was walking up the street, and he turned to me and he said, I always admired you, Father. Only he didn't call me Father. He calls me Pops.
Well, there's no reason he shouldn't admire you, Willie, dear. You're a fine man.
I'll tell you something, Mom. Deep down in my heart, this is the first time I ever believed it. I always thought I was a failure.
Willie.
I've turned my hand to a million things, and I always come back to working in the lumberyard. I don't mind. I like working in the lumberyard, but it's plain I'll never set the world on fire.
Oh.
Only look what I've got now. Junior doing so fine in college. Junior thinking I treated him square. Junior marrying the nicest, the sweetest, the smartest. Oh, Ma, there must be a God in heaven to give me such a blessing at this time of my life.
Why, Willie. Oh, Willie, dear, you got tears in your eyes. Now stop that. But you deserve it, Willie. The most honest, most generous, most friendly. I'll tell you something that my own mother told me many years ago. We can know how we raised our children by who our children leave us for. And when my daughter Evie married you, Willie dear, Pa Perkins and I was content because we knew that she was leaving us for an upright man. And I have never changed my mind about that.
Thank you, Mama. That's very nice. And now it's my turn to say the same thing about my firstborn, mine and Evie's. Looks like we've got lots to give thanks for today, Mama.
Oh, Willie, my, so much, so much. You know, there's some Thanksgivings when I feel most especially that we should give thanks for the things which didn't happen to us. Like we all been spared, and like there's no war. But for all of us, there's so much more. Like the happy years stretching ahead. Junior and this wonderful girl who's going to be his wife. The wonderful ambitions they got. And you got another son coming along and other little children. All right, to see the generations coming after us. And you and I have been spared to see them, Willie dear. The work that they'll do which we've left undone. And whatever comes, I give thanks that I have been given such faith. Strong young hands of my grandson, Junior. A straight, fine girl he loves, and the son she'll have. I just don't know when I've been happier, Willie. When I woke up this morning, I began giving thanks, and I've been giving thanks straight through.
Me too, Ma. There's some of I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. It's all so wonderful.
The generations. Maybe there's the meaning. They have the hope, the glimpse, the turning world which turns as it did in the beginning, and the promise that we find in our children. It won't stop. Maybe that's the life eternal.
Grandma, in the kitchen?
Yes, dear.
Oh, I think that's your mother and mine, Junior. Will you let them in?
Okay. The folks are riding. Come along, Willie.
Anything I can do, Grandma?
You've done so much, child. Just let me look at your pretty face. You've done so much. This is Ma Perkins again, to wish the happiest of Thanksgiving days to everyone who hears my voice, and to your loved ones, be they near or far. To the brave men and women on the far outposts of the Republic. There in the new states across the sea and under the midnight sun, in the sky and on the ships, we give thanks to you and for you. And for you, our loyal listeners. Dear friends, this is the last Thanksgiving that I'll be speaking to you. Tomorrow will be our last broadcast. I'd like to hear from you. If you'll drop a card or a letter to Ma Perkins, Orleans, Massachusetts, I'll try to answer each and every one of you. Orleans, Orleans, Ma Perkins, Orleans, Massachusetts. And I hope your day is as happy as ours.
That was Ma Perkins' last episode, called Thanksgiving Day, as originally broadcasted on November 24, 1960. Bob Elliott was a disc jockey at Boston's WHDH when he met newscaster Ray Goulding in 1946. The two men discovered an instant rapport, a gift for improvisation, and a keen understanding of the absurd. So began a radio partnership that would last for 40 years. Almost immediately, WHDH gave the new team a daily show, Matinee with Bob and Ray. In July 1951, Bob and Ray left Boston for New York. Over the next 3 decades, the Bob and Ray Show appeared on NBC, CBS, the Mutual Broadcasting System, and New York stations WINS, WAR and WHN. Their last series, a weekly program for National Public Radio, ran from 1982 to 1987. Bob and Ray created and gave voice to a universe of wonderful, offbeat characters, including domestic advisor Mary Magoon, adenoidal reporter Wally Ballou, and incompetent showman Barry Campbell. The duo also parodied radio and television with spoofs that often outlasted the original source material, including Mr. Trace, Keener Than Most Persons, Jack Headstrong, the All-American American and the soap opera's One Fella's Family and Mary Backstage, Noble Wife. Ray Goulding died on March 24, 1990. Bob Elliott died on February 2, 2016. The Bob and Ray Show was inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame in 1995. Here is the Thanksgiving episode as broadcasted on November 22, 1956.
Today, as it must to all turkeys, your druggist presents The Bob and Ray Show.
Today's the day for Bob and Ray. Enjoy it while you may. Let's sing along on wings of song for dear old Bob and Ray. It's Bob, 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 and Ray, Ray, Ray. Let's sing for all we're worth. And it is the day for Bob and Ray for laughter, ha, 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 and mirth. It's Bob, 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 and Ray, Ray, Ray. La, 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 la. Paris, vive mon amour. Mais impossible, c'est n'a pas d'argent.
All right, Leona, all right.
For goodness sakes, we're
Just
had
theme.
dinner.
Wow. Great Scott.
Happy Thanksgiving Day, one and all.
Boy, this is certainly a pizza with Thanksgiving. We had goose at my house.
Well, that's a traditional Thanksgiving Day meal, I guess.
It's more traditional than a turkey.
More traditional? Well, I
Certainly.
don't know whether it is or not. They had turkeys back in the old original Thanksgiving days.
Goose.
They had goose too, but they had turkeys and
You want to bet they had goose.
turkeys too. But we hope everybody had a very good day today, and this is going to be kind of relaxing. 3/4 of an hour. At least we're going to relax.
Of course, it's all brought to you, you remember, by your druggist. We have to get that in.
Your local apothecary. And I saw some real apothecary shops in Europe this summer. I think I told you about it once or twice before.
Oh, you've told us about it 20 times before.
Well, I can tell you about the time my friend Jim burned his arm, if you'd prefer that
No,
story.
I wouldn't like that one either.
Those are about the only two I know.
Well, anyway, the Bob and Ray Show is brought to you by your druggists, and that's that.
And he wishes you a very happy Thanksgiving.
And now, the Old Line Sand and Gravel Company, distributors of mud, invite you to ride with the men of Squad Car 119.
My name's Sam Finch. Me and my partner, Ralph R. Kruger, Jr., were the unsung heroes of the police force. We ride a prowl car at night, risking our lives so that you can live yours in peace. A couple of weeks ago, we were checking the book in the day room when my partner, Ralph R. Kruger, Jr., turned to me and said,
Hey, Sam, look at me.
"What's that thing you've got over your head, buddy?"
It's the evidence from the masked gunman case. I found it here in Glimmett's drawer. It's just a pillowcase with holes out for the eyes. And then you use these drawstrings here to tighten it around your neck.
That's pretty clever. I guess Glimmert's going to present it at the trial.
I suppose he will, yeah.
I'll get it. Hello?
This is the skipper. The slingshot bandit has struck again. 4538 El Segundo. You better roll on it.
Right, Skipper.
Skipper, huh?
Uh-huh. Slingshot bandit has struck again. We better roll. Let's see. Clean handkerchief, car keys, cigarettes.
Hey, Sam, I can't get this thing off my head. The more I pull it, the tighter it seems to get.
Here, you just pull it this way.
Stop, you're choking me. Now, there's some kind of a slip knot in there. It'll only slip one way.
Well, I guess you'll just have to go like that then.
Well, I can't go like this, Sam. They'd pick me up before I get out the building. You know what they'd do when they found out who I was.
Yeah, they'd throw the book at you. Nothing worse than a cop that goes bad.
If I put my hat on over the top of it, maybe they'd just think I had a pasty complexion.
You might get away with it from the front, but From the back, you can tell it's a pillowcase. Nobody could have a head that looked like that from the back.
Guess you're right. Well, I just don't know what to do, Sam. This thing almost has my wind cut off here.
Uh-huh. I'll get it. Hello.
This the skipper. Never mind that run to 4538 El Secondo. The case has been solved by the men of Squad Car 86. The slingshot bandit has been identified, booked, and brought to trial. In 1 minute, the results of that trial.
And while we're waiting to hear the outcome of this week's exciting case, a word from the Old Line Sand and Gravel Company. Whether you want just a little sticky goo or a complete quagmire in your yard, there's no substitute for mud. Ask your Old Line Sand and Gravel dealer to dump a few truckloads at your place today.
The slingshot bandit was freed on 4 counts of burglary because of lack of evidence. He was convicted, however, on charges of double parking. Double parking is punishable by a term in the state penitentiary of not less than 5 years, no more than life.
So another dangerous criminal is brought to justice by the unsung heroes of the police force, the men who ride the squad cars at night.
Is Mary Magoon here this morning?
Yes, right here.
Mary, would you help me with this little message and read the first 8 words there for
First
me?
8 words.
Mm-hmm.
Where has all the spirit of Christmas gone?
Thank you, Mary. I heard a lady
Do
say...
I get paid extra for that?
No, that's part of your duties, I guess.
It is?
I heard...
Maybe George will give me a little piece of his loot.
Might arrange.
I certainly will. You can have the wishbone. I couldn't get that part.
All right.
I heard a lady say just that the other day, though, because the mad hustle and bustle in stores from now to Christmas just takes all the old-fashioned fun out of Christmas shopping. Now, wouldn't you like to do your Christmas shopping this year in the leisurely, personal way that makes buying gifts a real pleasure? Wouldn't you like to have really friendly service? I know you would. And here's how. Just make your Christmas gift shopping headquarters at your local drugstore. Because this year, he's offering a terrific selection of gifts for just about everybody you can think of. Big, important gifts for grown-ups or for children, and lots of special small gifts, all a treat to find under the Christmas tree. Yes, all these gifts are now being offered by your local druggist. He can give you the friendly, personal attention you enjoy all year. So, drop in anytime. Your druggist is nearby, no parking problems. And just so you'll know for sure that Santa is truly at your local drugstore, you'll soon see a Santa poster announcing a big Christmas surprise for you. Don't miss it. It may be your dream come true.
Something, wasn't it? Usted se pregantora donde fue el amarillo.
Yeah, see?
Después de la... It doesn't fit.
They must sing it a lot faster.
Sus
Of course,
dientes con Pepsodent. Si Pepsodent.
anybody
Ole!
cognizant of the language could do it faster.
Well, that, I think, is the way they sing about new formula Pepsodent south of the border. But in any language, it all comes down to this. You're always in style with new formula Pepsodent. It whitens your teeth, brightens your breath, and puts the plus in your smile. Of course, it goes without saying, new formula Pepsodent toothpaste fights tooth decay and does it in a very special way. And you like the way Pepsodent makes your breath behave. And what's more, Pepsodent tastes so good, kids love it too. Best of all, and we repeat, Pepsodent whitens your teeth, brightens your breath, and puts the plus in your smile. Or, put it this way, you'll wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent. And Pepsodent toothbrushes, too.
Senor. And pick up your Pepsodent at your local druggist, drugstore, and when you do, maybe you'll be reminded of a special favor or extra service that your druggist performed for you or a friend or neighbor. If so, why don't you write it down on a letter in 50 words or less and send it along and maybe win a beautiful Benrus wristwatch for yourself in our Druggist of the Week contest. You can win one for the druggist, too. A letter of 50 words or less on one side of the paper telling us a human interest story about your druggist. The address for your letters is Bob and Ray, Box 99, New York 46, New York. The winning letter each week and the druggist written about will receive a Benrus watch. Well, now, the winning letter won't receive the watch, the writer of that letter. The address, Bob and Ray, Box 99, New York 46, New York.
The Bob and Ray Show is being brought to you by the druggists in your community.
Say, we understand that the winner has just received the checkered flag out there in the big 200-mile Hot Rod Derby at Encino, California. Our correspondent, Wally Ballou, is on the scene out there, so come in, please. Wally Ballou.
Radio's Dean of Radio Newsman, Wally Ballou, here in the pit area at the National Hot Rod Derby in Encino, California. The top hot rodders and drag racers from all over the country have been competing today in a 200-mile road race. We're waiting for the winning car to compete one final lap and then pull into the pit area. And here it comes now. You may be able to hear the cheers.
All right, folks, clear the way here. Clear the way.
Local police have cleared the path for the winning car to pull in, and the championship driver is stepping out now, and we're going to try to get up there with our microphone. Over here, please. Over here.
You, want me to talk on the
That's
radio?
right. First, for myself, Wally Ballou of Radio Fame, and on behalf of all of our mutual listeners, I want to congratulate you on your great victory today.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you, I'm sure.
Now, you're Mrs. Jennifer Kilwater from Evanston, Illinois, right?
That's right,
What
yes.
make of car is that you piloted the victory here today?
This is a Baker Electric. A 1916 Baker Electric.
I noticed the body of the car seemed to stand a good deal higher than the other hot rods in the race, but I didn't have any idea it was really an old electric.
Well, the car used to be a lot higher than it is now. I lowered the frame, had it channeled, and chopped almost a foot off here between the top of the door and the roof. You can see how much lower the artificial flowers on the inside sit than they originally did.
Uh-huh. Well, now, how did you ever get the idea for converting an electric car into a hot rod, Miss Kilwater?
Well, it all came about quite by accident, really.
No, Wally.
What?
Wally.
Well, I'm sorry, Wally. I've owned this electric ever since it was new. I just used it mostly for shopping and driving around my hometown.
Well, that would be Evanston, Illinois, of course.
That's right. Well, about 6 months ago, I was waiting at a stoplight when a young punk in a roadster with milled heads and dual carbs pulled up beside me.
Uh-huh.
He leaned out the window and said, "Let's drag, sister."
And he wanted to race you away from the stoplight, huh?
That's right. Well, it all seemed too silly for words, but when the light turned green, I gave her the gun, and I had a 3-block lead on him before he'd gotten his roadster out of first gear.
That's when you decided to convert your electric into a hot rod.
Yeah, I really got the fever bad then. I'd charge up those batteries for all they were worth, and I was ready to take on any dragster that came my way. This baby accelerates from 0 to 60 in 4 seconds flat.
Do you have any idea what the average speed was of today's race?
Well, I don't have the exact figure yet, but they tell me it was right around 130.
Well,
like
congratulations
that.
again, Mrs. Killwater, and this is Radio Dub's Wally Ballou in Encino, California, returning you to Bob and Ray in New York.
Thank you, Wally. And now, George, if you would, please.
No boy or girl likes to have a sick, irritated complexion, a skin that is spoiled by ugly pimples and blemishes. This condition is downright tough on your self-confidence, and it's so unnecessary, because there is an almost magic answer for most teenage complexion troubles. It's Utol, U-T-O-L. Utol is the amazing antibiotic cream that you just smooth on after you've washed your face at night. And you can wear Utol all day, too, because it's flesh-colored, and it helps to hide skin blemishes while it cures. You see, the antibiotic in Utol goes to work fast, killing those skin germs that cause pimples. And besides, Utol heals skin lesions so they dry up and don't spread. Yes, Utol works fast. Just a few days often brings surprising results, perhaps in time for your next big date. So ask your druggist all about Utol, U-T-O-L, Utol antibiotic cream for skin blemishes. It's another fine product made better by McKesson.
Hey, George, did you have your turkey dinner yet or not?
No, I'm going to have mine tonight.
Oh, you're going to go tonight?
Yeah.
You going to have goose or turkey?
No, we're going to have turkey.
Okay.
Goose isn't traditional in our house, is it?
Goose is traditional in my house.
Turkey is mine.
Goose.
Night lights, those blues in the night lights are no longer bright lights since I'm without you. Sweet dreams, oh, where did they fly to? You're gone, and whom can I cry to? Those night lights remind me of bright eyes and beautiful white lies, too good to be true. As I go on my way, with all my heart I pray that those night lights will lead me to you. Night lights remind me of bright eyes and beautiful white lies, too good to be true. As I go on my way, with all my heart I pray that those night lights will lead me to you.
Say, recent clinical studies on sleep conducted at one of the nation's largest hospitals showed that the superior formula in Sleep Ease tablets is most effective in bringing sound, relaxed sleep. And further tests of the superior Sleep Ease formula revealed no evidence of habit formation. That's why you can buy Sleep Ease with confidence, because
Sleep Ease is safe.
And Sleep Ease works.
That's right, Bob. Sleep Ease is guaranteed non-habit forming. It contains no harmful drugs or barbiturates. In fact, Sleep Ease is so safe you can buy it at any drug counter without prescription.
Sleep Ease gently relaxes nervous tensions to ease you into restful, natural sleep. Sleep Ease actually builds a normal sleep pattern that's maintained even after use has been discontinued. Stop in at your druggist and pick up a package of Sleep Ease, the original safe sleeping tablet. Only 79 cents, double size, $1.25. And if Sleep Ease doesn't give you the best night's sleep you ever had, you'll get double your money back.
Now, if sleep is your problem, you can sleep easy with Sleep Ease. Now, a word about Sleep Ease from our friend, Gabriel Heder.
Thank you, Bob and Ray. And I want your listeners to know I personally recommend Sleep Ease. I'll have more to say about Sleep Ease, this original safe tablet for natural sleep, on my news program later this evening over many of these network stations.
And now, the makers of Grime, the magic shortening that spreads like lard, invite you to join us for another episode of The Gathering Dusk. As we look in on the Bessinger household today, Edna is still bedridden. It's late morning, and Mr. Hoffmeister, the superintendent of the village telephone office, is just entering her room.
Oh, telephone office superintendent Hoffmeister. It was good of you to come over so quickly.
Well, I don't usually go out on calls of this nature myself, but after all, your father was the first person in Red Boiling Springs to have a telephone installed, and our company's always felt indebted to the family for that.
Yes, I can remember when we were the only people in town who had a phone. It was kind of silly in a way. There was nobody else we could call up. We just spent most of our time chatting with the operator.
I know folks in the village used to say the only reason your father had the phone installed was that he had a crush on the local operator. That was Mrs. Fedderson at the time.
Well, I don't see how that could be. Mrs. Fedderson was almost 80, and she didn't have any teeth at all. I remember it was awfully hard to understand her over the phone.
Yes, I know it was. But with only one subscriber, we figured it didn't make much difference anyway.
Well, there's only one thing I never could figure out. If we had the first phone in town, how come we were assigned the number 2647 ring 3?
Well, I think your father requested that number. He said it would be easy to remember because it was the same as the number on his auto license.
Well, now that's just silly. Who ever heard of an auto license number 2647 ring 3?
Well, that had us kind of puzzled down at the telephone office, but we just figured that your father was an odd old duck and that we'd better humor him.
Well, he did get a little wacky in his later years. There's no use denying that.
Well, I'm sure you didn't call me over here to discuss your father, Edna. Is there something I can do for you?
Yes, there is, telephone office superintendent Hoffmeister. I was just glancing through the phone directory here, and I noticed that my name has been left out. Now, that's a terribly upsetting thing to me. If my ex-husband ever tried to call me up, he wouldn't be able to find the number.
Well, it isn't often that we omit a name. Let me see that directory there.
Here it is. See, there's no Bessinger at all.
Well, this isn't a telephone directory, Edna. It's a dictionary.
Oh, my lands, I do believe you're right. I thought there were a lot of folks listed in there that I'd never heard of before. You've really taken a load off my mind, telephone office superintendent Hoffmeister. I almost feel as if I'm no longer standing in the gathering dusk.
Ladies, there's nothing more useless than a shortening that evaporates as soon as you expose it to the air. That's why you go for Grime, the magic shortening that spreads like lard. Try some today and be sure to join us next time when Edna goes to the village in the gathering dusk.
You wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent. New formula Pepsodent whitens your teeth and brightens your breath and puts the plus in your smile. And Pepsodent is the best tasting way to fight tooth decay. It tastes so good that kids love it too. And it really gets your teeth so clean they look their whitest.
Makes your mouth feel so good.
Who is that?
I don't know. It's one of our audience, I think.
Do you use Pepsodent, sir, do you?
That's right.
Uh-huh. Well, all right. You know, new formula Pepsodent's a wonderful toothpaste in which to start. Do you have any children, sir?
What's that?
Do you have any kids?
No, I don't.
Oh. Well, for those of you who do, you can, thanks...
well, in that case, yes, I do.
Well...
I'll help you out with a commercial.
Fine. Well, Pepsodent's a wonderful way to start your children brushing their teeth, sir. It tastes so good the kids really love it. And, you know, when you think about it, no matter how often you brush your teeth, you cannot change their basic structure. But you can and will make the most of the teeth you have when you use Pepsodent, because Pepsodent makes your teeth look their whitest. And the whiter your teeth, the brighter your smile. And the whiter your teeth, the nicer your breath, the more confident you'll be of your smile. You know, a bright, gay smile goes a long way toward making friends and influencing people.
Makes you feel so good.
All right, sir, thank you. The fine new flavor of new formula Pepsodent makes your mouth feel good when you use it. And perhaps even more important, it keeps your breath fresh and sweet and clean for hours. New Pepsodent.
The Bob and Ray Show is being brought to you by the druggists in your community.
Quick look at the Bob and Ray bulletin board shows some interesting things. Here, what is this? It says tour of a battleship. Is that for today?
Well,
There's another one, visit to a country doctor. Oh, this is all for next week. The things that we will, projects we'll be working on then.
Hey, whatever happened to our community bulletin board?
Oh,
We haven't had any announcements to make in a long time.
Nothing to put up on it, I guess.
Not a word from any organization. Not even anything that happened last week.
But we have, the bulletin board is here. If you have any local goings-on you want publicized, so we're happy to do it as a public service.
No, I was just going through the mail here, seeing if there were any announcements. A cake sale. Yes, a cake sale. Carlisle, Massachusetts, November 4th.
Well, we passed that.
Mm-hmm. So we hope it was a success. We'll put that right up on the bulletin board, won't we?
Mark the date down for next year. They'll probably have another one.
No, the PS says this is the last year. We'll hold it in November.
Oh, I see.
Next year it'll be in October sometime. It doesn't give the exact date.
We'll hold October open for next year.
Right. All right.
I think there's a commercial on the bulletin board.
All right, well, let's have a go at that.
You know, some people do things the hard way. I'll bet there are a lot of little ladies listening in on Radio Land, practically getting black and blue, trying to slenderize.
Mm-hmm.
And yet there's such an easy way to slim your figure. It's called the Kesselman Reducing Plan.
I've heard of it.
That's right. Believe it or not, Kesselman is the easy way to eat with a satisfied feeling and still stay slim.
Well, tell me more. I'd like to keep a trim, athletic figure myself. You know, life is lots more fun when a man doesn't have to puff and wheeze when he's doing something he should enjoy. And, of course, man or woman, you feel more healthy when you look trim and healthy. So watch your waistline. It's the modern thing to do.
Kesseman is the modern way, all right, to lose and keep down your weight. Kesseman tablets before meals give you the complete supplement you need when eating less food. Iron for blood, vitamins for pep, and enough bulk to make moderate helpings at meals seem all you want to eat. So, ladies, if you want to stay slim and attractive, or if you want to shed those extra pounds, you can count on Kesseman and its reducing plan. It's healthful and a real cosmetic for your figure.
And to be sure you make the Kesseman plan a habit, keep those calorie-controlled Kesseman number 14 tablets right on your dining room table. Take them an hour before every meal.
Ask your druggist for Kesseman, Kessamin. It's another fine product made better by McKesson. The Bob and Ray Show continues right after station identification. This is Mutual, the radio network for all America.
All right. Are we on the air? All right.
Howdy, Bob and Ray, huh?
Why,
Oh,
hey, Tex.
Yes, I figured you'd be surprised by my annual Thanksgiving Day visit.
Did you have dinner at the rooming house?
Yes, Miss Gibson served us scrambled eggs and bacon.
Scrambled
like
eggs?
She always does on Thanksgiving.
Gee, that sounds like a kind of meager Thanksgiving dinner.
It does, when you come to think of it.
Have buttered toast?
Buttered toast and porridge first.
Well, it sounds like a regular breakfast.
Sounds like a real country breakfast there.
Yeah.
Yes, it does, but she never goes overboard on holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Could I have some of that stuffing you have left there?
It's kind of cold.
That's all right. I like it that way.
Well, help yourself. You didn't even have any mince pie or pumpkin pie?
Black coffee we had after.
Black coffee. Well, you had to have black coffee. No cream, was there?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like
Help yourself, Tex.
Sounds like a pretty tough Thanksgiving for old Tex.
He sure loves that stuffing, though.
Well, that's a little more like it.
A little more like Thanksgiving, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Feel like riding out of chute number 7 on Spitfire now.
Okay, Tex, so let's listen to George Putnam.
What chute's he riding out of?
Number 2 on the Christmas list.
Well, it seems to me that Thanksgiving gets closer to Christmas every year because these 4 little weeks are the time most people do their Christmas shopping. Gee, that boy really loves that stuffing, doesn't he?
Go right ahead, George. It's all right. He just wants to...
I know you plan each year to do Christmas shopping early when the stores are not crowded, when you don't have to be pushed and pulled to get waited on. Well, even if you are late getting started, you can still do your Christmas shopping in a friendly, enjoyable fashion. How? Where? Well, listen. Your neighborhood druggist this year is showing the most gorgeous selection of Christmas gifts for just about everyone on your list. He has important big gifts for grown-ups or children, glamorous small gifts for remembrances. And shopping at your local drugstore couldn't be nicer. Here is really personal attention, the kind you enjoy all year. Here is convenient. Your drugstore is nearby, no parking problems, and you can drop in any time convenient to you. Take good old-fashioned leisure making your choice of every kind of Christmas gift. Here are quality presents you'll be proud to send and happy to receive. So why not tell your friends, too, about the easy, convenient world of shopping you can do with your local druggist. And by the way, watch for the big Santa poster on his window. It means a big Christmas surprise for you. Perhaps your dream come true.
All right, Tex.
All right, Tex, please.
How true that a tiring day usually develops tensions that just won't let you sleep at night. The result, a succession of sleepless nights, increasingly wearing days. Well, fortunately for men and women alike, there is Sleep Ease to break this sleepless cycle. Sleep Ease is a new tablet with a superior formula that is so safe you can buy it without prescription. Sleep Ease will ease nervous tension, bring relaxed, natural sleep without habit-forming drugs. So why put up with restless, sleepless nights? This is Gabriel Heater suggesting you buy Sleep Ease
Wait a
now.
second. No,
Remember...
Wait a minute. You're Bob Elliott. You're not Gabriel Heater.
I must have his copy here, I guess. This is Bob Elliott suggesting, but I think I'm Gabriel Heater, suggesting you buy Sleep Ease now, and remember you get double your money back if not completely satisfied. Insist on Sleep Ease by name, only 79 cents. Double size, $1.25. And now here's Bob Elliott with a message for you.
No, wait a second.
I've got
it's
it.
Gabriel Heater with a message.
I've got it mixed up there. I'm sorry.
Say, if you're one of those unhappy persons troubled by uneasy sleep, why don't you stop and get Sleep Ease on your way home now? On my news program tonight...
Yes. On your program tonight...
most of these stations, I'll tell you more about the superior formula of this priceless product. This is Gabriel Heater urging you to try Sleep Ease, the original safe tablet for getting a wonderful night's sleep.
Hey, don't forget about the Druggist of the Week contest. You may enter, and win yourself a beautiful Benrus wristwatch and one for the druggist that you name in your letter. To enter, you write a letter in 50 words or less about a human interest incident in which your druggist played the leading role. Your letter may be about some special favor or some extra service that he performed for you or for some friend or neighbor, and then write on one side of the paper only and send your entry to Bob and Ray, Box 99, New York, 46, New York. That's Bob and Ray, Box 99, New York, 46, New York.
The Bob and Ray Show is being brought to you by the druggists in your community.
This, of course, is Thanksgiving, and here in the United States we humbly offer thanks to God that we are Americans, and that being Americans is very worthwhile. And for this reason, the Mutual Network is devoting a tremendous portion of its broadcast schedule to tell you about an organization known as Hope Incorporated. To tell you about the founder of this organization, Colonel Dean E. Hess of our Air Force, and his book, Battle Hymn.
For those we can save. Another special Mutual Broadcasting System holiday presentation, solely designed to remind us of our great American heritage. And on this particular day, to our tradition of giving thanks and of giving. Well, I know you're fixing to put your teeth into that turkey. Maybe you're doing it right now, or maybe you just finished the bird already. You know, sometimes you call your youngsters little animals. You're kidding, of course. But here's a story about 4 kids in Korea during the war there. Listen to Colonel Dean E. Hess of our Air Force tell the story.
Our first task at Yangdong-po was to put the runway in condition. It was quite a job. In a burned-out hangar, I noticed a steel water tank about 6 feet square lying among the twisted girders and blackened ruins. When I heard the voices, I stopped in my tracks. There might be guerrillas hiding there, ready to snipe at night. Quickly, I got back to the men. We picked out a handful, including a Korean or 2. All of us returned to the tank, armed. All right, close enough, men. All right, come out of there. All of you.
Want me to pour a burst into it, sir?
No. Jones, see if you can rip that mat away from the opening.
Yes, sir. Careful, Mac. Okay. There we go.
Keep him covered, Sergeant.
I'm watching him there, sir. Maybe you ought to give him a... No, hold it.
Kids. 4 little kids.
Living in there, looks like.
You can come out. We won't hurt you.
They won't come out, sir.
They're afraid. They're too afraid. When they came out, I was there. I'll never forget it. 4 filthy, emaciated little bodies. Oldest, 10. Youngest, 6. Months they'd spent in that tank. They'd gnawed on the roots of bushes and weeds for food. I can't forget what I saw with my own eyes. I'll never stop hearing what the sergeant said.
Colonel, they don't act like people. They've become just little animals. Just animals.
Colonel Dean Hess wrote the book Battle Hymn so as to raise money for an orphanage to be built outside Seoul, Korea. He makes no money from that book. Our only purpose in telling you this story and other stories is so that we can give the colonel help in his work. Still on active duty, he uses all his spare moments in raising funds for that orphanage. He needs help, and he needs it fast. These little orphans need a roof for the winter. The world doesn't need any little animals. It needs little people with hearts and souls. Well, maybe we can help the colonel today, right now. Can you spare $1 or $2 or maybe 50 cents or a quarter? Maybe you got an extra 5. Why don't you mail it to Hope Incorporated, Box 85, Washington 4, D.C. That's Hope Incorporated, Box 85, Washington 4, D.C. Thanks for whatever help you can give. You've just heard another in a series of special Thanksgiving Day broadcasts prepared and presented by the Mutual Broadcasting System. Another holiday program solely designed to remind us all of our precious American heritage and its deeper meaning. Charlie Holmes speaking. We invite you to stay tuned to hear other offerings of For Those We Can Save.
So let's support Hope Incorporated. Now then, George, I think,
One final void?
Yeah, please.
Is your throat irritated by a cough, a cold, or over-smoking? Well, here's a name to remember for blessed relief. Neoaquidrin throat lozenges. Neoaquidrin combats those everyday irritated throats in 2 ways. Yes, it contains a miracle drug antibiotic called tyrothricin to fight the germs that often cause many of your minor throat irritations. And Neoaquidrin relieves your discomfort almost at once with a fast-acting local anesthetic. Neoaquidrin can give you faster, more effective relief because it contains up to twice as much pain-relieving anesthetic or antibiotic as other leading preparations. Of course, you should call your doctor if irritation persists or fever is present. But for minor throat irritation, there's nothing, and I mean nothing, like Neoaquidrin throat lozenges. If you don't find them most helpful, your money will be cheerfully refunded. Neoaquidrin, Neoaquidrin throat lozenges for fast, effective relief of the minor throat irritation so common these days. Get Neoaquidrin at your druggist today.
And that's about it for today, but we'll be back again tomorrow. Hope you've had a very pleasant Thanksgiving.
Until tomorrow, this is Ray Goulding reminding you to write if you get work.
Bob Elliott reminding you to hang by your thumb.
The Bob and Ray Show has been brought to you by the druggists in your community. This is Mutual, the radio network for all America.
That was Bob and Ray's Thanksgiving episode as broadcasted on November 22, 1956. The Elgin Holiday Special started in 1942 on the Armed Forces radio service as a way to bring a little bit of home to the men and women serving their country in the armed services. Airing during Thanksgiving, U.S., and Christmas, the show was hosted by movie star Don Amici. Among some of the performing stars are Gary Moore, Jimmy Durante, Candy Condito, Larry Stork, Vera Vague, Jack Benny, Red Skelton as both Junior the Mean Whittle Kid, and Clem Caddidelhopper, Artie Auerbach as Mr. Kitzel, and others. This is the 7th annual Elgin Thanksgiving special as broadcasted on November 25, 1948.
The Elgin Watch Company, makers of fine American watches for over 80 years, presents its 7th annual Thanksgiving Day Greeting to America. 2 hours of stars broadcast throughout the United States to our veterans, hospitals, and servicemen overseas by Armed Forces Radio and shortwave round the world. In the next 2 hours, the Elgin Watch Company brings you Don Amici, Mario Lanza, Gary Moore, Jimmy Durante, the Mills Brothers, Vera Vague, Andre Previn, Bob Hotkins, Jack Benny, Francis Langford, Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, the Bickersons, and Red Skelton, with the Elgin Orchestra and Chorus under the direction of Robert Armbruster. I'm Ken Carpenter, and here is your host for the full 2 hours, Don Amici.
There's an old and wonderful word of welcome for this day, ladies and gentlemen. It's Happy Thanksgiving. And in behalf of the Elgin Watch Company, the Elgin Jewelers, and all the stars gathered together here in Hollywood, may I say Happy Thanksgiving and welcome to 2 Hours of Stars. Originally conceived and shortwaved overseas 7 years ago as Elgin's way of bringing a little bit of home to our men and women in the service during the holidays, its presentation every Thanksgiving and Christmas Day has been continued through the years as a public service, symbolizing the goodwill and fellowship Americans share together during the holidays. And here to start the festivities is the young Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer star discovery regarded by many as the greatest tenor since Caruso, Mario Lanza.
There's an old Italian phrase. It's an old Italian phrase. Every little bambino learns it the very first day. Every sweet signorina says it the very same way. These funny little words don't really mean a thing. It's just a phrase that nowadays we all should learn to say. Così, cosa, it's a wonderful word, tra-la-la-la. When anyone asks you how you are, it's proper to say così, cosa, così, cosa. If a lady should ask you if you care, you don't have to start a love affair. Say così, cosa. Does it mean yes? No. Does it mean no? Well, yes and no. Così, cosa. Get together and sing tra-la-la-la. It's easy this way, so try today to learn to say così, cosa. Così, cosa. Così, cosa. La 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 così cosa. Say così cosa. Does it mean yes? No. Does it mean no? Well, yes and no. Così cosa. Get together and sing la la la. It's easy to say.
We'll be calling on Mario for an encore a little later, but right about now on the Elgin Watch Company's 2 Hours of Stars, it's become a custom to go calling on two gentlemen we feel go together like turkey and cranberry sauce. It was Thanksgiving Day just 5 years ago that Elgin first presented a famed and fabulous comedy team known as The Nose and the Haircut, Jimmy Durante and Gary Moore. For the past 2 seasons, each of these pleasantly demented gentlemen has had a show of his own. But every Thanksgiving finds them reunited again at the Elgin Watch Company's request. So let's start as usual with a junior member of the firm, America's most unpredictable quiz master, the star of Take It or Leave It, Gary Moore.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Don Amici, and greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Well, who is our first contestant for tonight? You, sir, this gentleman in the front row. Would you like to win $32,000 worth of basketball sneakers?
Gary...
Don't forget to stick around for the giant jackpot race, folks. Tonight we're giving away 47 acres of Vigoro.
Look, Gary, old man.
All you have to do to win this magnificent prize is identify the breath of the mystery sponsor.
Gary, just a minute, please.
What's the matter, Don?
I hate to tell you this, but we don't have any contestants on this program.
No contestants?
No.
Well, then, who do you give all the prizes to?
We don't give any prizes.
Well, then, what are all these people doing here?
Well, they came here just to be entertained, that's all.
Just to be entertained? Yeah. Oh, you fools, you. You dear, sweet, lovable fools. Mm. Don, hadn't you heard? Entertainment on the radio nowadays is passé. Giveaway programs are the big thing. Why, it's gotten so nowadays, Don, that when a person answers the telephone, he no longer says, who is it? He just says, how much?
Well, it may seem a bit old-fashioned, Gary, but we still believe in entertainment.
Oh?
As a matter of fact, I went to a lot of trouble to cook up some jokes for you to tell today.
Jokes, Don?
Yeah.
You mean like why does an Indian wear feathers in his hat? It's to keep his wigwam? That sort of thing?
Oh, say, even better than that one. I got some real wing-dingers for you.
Oh, I'll just bet you ding-dong have. Where are these witticisms here, Don?
Well, start reading right up there at the top of the page.
Oh, I see. Oh, you mean where it says a funny thing happened to me on my way to the studio today?
Yeah. Is that a lollapalooza?
That's good. I bet that is, yes. I'll try anything once. Here we go. Say, Don, a funny thing happened to me on my way to the studio today. I walked into a bakery and I saw a sign on the wall that said policeman cookies for sale. And I said to the lady behind the counter, for heaven's sakes, what are policeman cookies? And she said, cop cakes.
Well, that was a real Jim Dandy, wasn't it?
Oh, you're crackerjack right, that was, yeah. That's the sort of thing that could bring back silent radio.
Gee, don't stop now that you're rolling. Go on, read the next line.
I'm rolling. Okay.
You're rolling. Go ahead.
Here we go. Say, Don, I once knew a boy named Abe and a girl named Anna who fell in love and got married. But 2 years later, they separated. And you know something, Don? That's the first time I'd ever seen Abe and Anna split. Well, who is our first contestant for tonight? Stick around for the jackpot question, folks.
Gee, I don't know. Maybe you're right, Gary. Tell me more about these quiz shows. Do they all give away money?
Oh, heavens to Elizabeth. No, Don. No. You see, on some of the shows, they give away merchandise.
Oh.
I heard a show the other night where they not only gave a lady a free garbage disposal unit, they also gave her a 5-year supply of garbage. That's true, and not only that, they also have special quiz programs for every different age group. On the Quiz Kid program the other day, they had one kid who was only a year and a half old.
A year and a half?
Uh-huh. They had to transcribe the program so the kid could be burped at a more convenient time. They think of everything.
Yeah, well, that takes care of the kiddies, but what about the old folks? Is there no special quiz program for them?
Well, no, not yet, but I'm working on it, Don. I'm developing a new quiz show with 4 experts. One is 95 years old, another is 102, another is 112, and the other is 117 years old. And I'm calling this program, Can You Stand Up? It's going to be a great thing. But look at Don, don't let me talk you out of entertainment. As a matter of fact, I'm expecting a very dear friend of mine any minute now, one of the great entertainers of our time. And sure enough, here he comes now, the small man with the large nose and the heart to match, the one and only Jimmy Durante, in person.
You've got to start off each day with a song. Now, even when things go wrong, you feel better, you even look better. Wait a minute. How do you like that? One turkey survives Thanksgiving and already he's making a guest appearance. Get the beak on that turkey. While he was alive, my job was in jeopardy.
Oh, you haven't changed a bit. It's my old Durante in the flesh. Durante in the flesh.
Don't tell me I forgot to put on a suit. But greetings, Gary, and top of the turkey to you.
Thank you, James.
And in honor of the day, I would like to read a poem of Thanksgiving greetings to the President in Washington, D.C.
That sounds fetching. How does this poem go?
Happy Thanksgiving, Mr. Truman. In November, you're still blooming. Though outside the snows may flurry, Ain't that better than Missouri? You better laugh, folks. No coward don't write this junk for nothing, you know.
May I say, James, that poem was truly a beautiful sentiment?
Thank you, Junior. But do you think Mr. Truman can get elected twice?
Jim, look, you don't say twice. The word is just twice.
That's what I said, twice.
No, Jim, you see, there is no T on the end of twice. Now, look, just say twice, then clap your hand over your mouth.
Okay, twice.
What happened?
Must have leaked out through my nose. I know it took a long time, but that's quite a trip. It's the scenic route.
Jimmy, look, since turkeys are so high this year, did you have any trouble getting one for Thanksgiving?
Gary, I avoided that dilemma.
You did, huh?
3 months ago,
That's good.
That's the time they didn't stick me. I like to repeat that.
Go ahead, I dare you.
Gary, I avoided that dilemma. 3 months ago, I bought a turkey and put him in the backyard to fatten him up.
Uh-huh.
Yesterday, I wanted to check on his avatapurs, so I took the turkey down to the drugstore to weigh him.
Uh-huh.
I put the turkey on the scale, dropped the penny in the slot, and out came a card that said, "You weigh 22 pounds and have no future." The turkey must have seen that card, cause shortly thereafter he escaped. He flew south with a valise full of cranberry sauce.
That's right. Then how did you go about getting another turkey for Thanksgiving, James?
Well, the butchers were sold out, so I went to a turkey raffle. And what a fiasco.
Oh?
You see, I had number 84573849587, and the fella next to me had number 84857463529. So just for luck, I said, "You have a kind face. I'll trade you for my 84573849587 for your 845-875-463529. So he gave me the 848-574-63529 for my 847-384-85867. A lucky number.
Well, who won?
The judge's brother-in-law with number 6. A peculiar coincidence. But in spite of everything, Junior, what a grand tradition Thanksgiving is.
Yeah, and how few of us, James, appreciate the Pilgrims, those wonderful people who inaugurated Thanksgiving. To say nothing of the custom of bundling.
Bundling, Junior? And whatever might that be?
Well, bundling is a custom whereby two pilgrims would nestle close together to keep warm.
How do you like that? Every time I've been in that Paramount balcony, I've been surrounded by pilgrims, and I didn't know it. But, Junior, Thanksgiving is an unhappy time of the year for me.
Oh?
It reminds me of my first girlfriend, Brenda Minestrone.
Jim, this is a side of your life I didn't know about. Were you serious with this girl, Brenda Minestrone?
As serious as two people can be. We even considered matrimony, but her parents objected. So one night we decided to elope. But halfway down the ladder, her father caught me.
He caught you on the ladder? Well, gee whiz, Jim, what did you do?
What could I do? I painted the side of the house.
Hey, look, Jim, you know, I'll bet you're having real girl trouble now with that handsome Alan Young on your camel show.
Oh, I don't know. When it comes to sashaying the femmes, I can compete with them anytime.
Oh, cut it out. Jimmy, Alan Young has kissed girls that wouldn't even look at you.
So what? I've kissed girls that wouldn't look at me either. But enough of this, Falderell Jr. It's time for us to go to work and entertain the people. What have you cooked up for us this year?
Well, James, this year I'm answering a little request of my own. I'm sure the folks out there would enjoy hearing you do, in its entirety, your famous composition, Ink-a-Dink-a-Doo.
A flattering request, Mr. Moore. I shall comply with alacrity. Mr. Armbuster, a fanfare, if you please. Ladies and gentlemen, in this number, I shall accompany myself at the piano. No applause, please. No applause. And I'm also hoping that this year Mr. Moore will not attempt to accompany me on the drum. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Mr. Moore, you may be on take it or leave it, but please leave it. I can't take it. But, where's my place? But, now we shall continue halfway. That's what I always do when I miss it. But, now we shall continue halfway between the pizza and the cutter. Now, once upon a time, they sang the Bodie-O-Do.
Bodie-O-Do.
But that was long ago.
Oh, long ago, my darling.
Mr. Moore, would you mind turning your head the other way? You're throwing my piano out of tune.
Look who's talking. Is there any truth to the rumor, James, that before every performance you gargle with Chanel's Drano No. 5?
It's an outright slander. I use nothing but Gorgeous George No. 6. But let's continue. Then everybody started in to boop-boop-a-doop. They got tired of that, you know. Broop bleep. I'll give you $50 if you show me broop bleep in the music. Show me broop bleep in the music.
There it is, broop bleep.
Show me broop bleep in the music.
Broop bleep. It's right in there.
Where?
It says right there
Where?
in the music. Broop bleep.
Too bad I can't read. Stand by for the chorus, Mr. Armbuster. But the tune for you and me is that swingy symphony they call it a dinkady, a dinkadoo, a dinkady. Oh, what a tune for crooning. A dinkady, a dinkadoo, a dinkady. It's got the whole...
Wait a minute. Telephone, Jim. I'll get it. I'll get the telephone. Hello? Hello, what? You say you've been listening to Mr. Durante sing on your radio? No. Well, I'll certainly tell him that. Goodbye.
Junior, who is that calling?
Princess Elizabeth. She says you have just curdled the baby's milk.
You know, I've made an international profile. But nevertheless, Mr. Armblister, we shall carry on con moto patrullo. Eskimo bells up in Iceland are ringing. They've made their own paradise land singing. Ink, a dinkady, a dinkadoo. A dinkady simply means ink. A dinkady.
Oh, Mr. Randy, oh, your voice thrills me so. You're so wonderful. You're just wonderful, and I love your voice.
For heaven's sakes, Jim, who is that?
I can't help it, Gary. Sinatra appeals to the Bobby Sockers, but somebody's got to take care of the corset crowd.
You know, Jim, to be honest with you, I agree with that girl. Your voice combines all the mellifluous attributes of cathedral chimes in the quiet noon of a winter's day. And in comparison, I feel that you are far superior to Lawrence Melchior, Lawrence Tibbet, and John Charles Thomas.
How do you like that? Thanksgiving isn't even over, and already this boy is angling for his Christmas present. But I shall ignore him and continue. Eskimo bells up in Iceland are ringing. They've made their own paradise land singing. Ink, a dinkady, a dinkadoo, a dinkady. Wait a minute. Keep laughing, folks. I lost my music. I wish you could see Mr. Moore, folks. I got his head right in the piano. Mr. Moore, if I was you, I'd pick up your bass drum and beat it.
Jimmy, look, I hate to interrupt, but it didn't make any difference. A messenger just came in from the sponsor, Mr. Elgin. He's been listening to us out there in Elgin, Illinois.
A messenger from the sponsor? Well, don't just stand there, messenger. What does the sponsor have to say about our performance?
I'm feeling mighty low.
That's the final humiliation. Let's go home, Mr. Moore.
Go home, Mr. Durante.
Ink, a dinkady, a dinkadoo, a dinkady simply means ink. A dinkady, a dinkadoo.
Thank you, Jimmy Durante and Gary Moore. Now, here's another friend of yours who's always around on Thanksgiving, Ken Carpenter.
Starring in the Velvet Touch independent artists picture released by RKO Radio is the lovely Rosalind Russell. Miss Russell is noted for her good taste in clothes and accessories. In fact, she's been voted one of the best-dressed women in America. So when Rosalind Russell exclaims over the beauty of Elgin watches, that's style news. Miss Russell commented enthusiastically, "Brilliant styling is only half their glory." What she referred to, of course, is Elgin's amazing mainspring that's made of a wholly new alloy of metals. Elgin's exclusive DuraPower mainspring.
The DuraPower mainspring eliminates 99% of all repairs due to steel mainspring failures.
Rosalind Russell is only one of many Hollywood favorites who admires Elgin watches. Robert Montgomery, co-starring in the picture The Saxon Charm, said, "The new Elgin? Oh, handsome, yes, but that new mainspring makes history."
The DuraPower mainspring eliminates 99% of all repairs due to steel mainspring failures.
Gertrude Lawrence was another thrilled by their beauty. When this idol of theatergoers was told of the DuraPower mainspring, she exclaimed, "That I would surely want in a Christmas watch." And an interesting comment came from Mrs. Lawrence Tibbett, the charming wife of the famous Metropolitan Opera star and one of America's best-dressed women. When she saw the beautiful new Elgin watches and learned of their DuraPower mainspring, Mrs. Tibbett said, "Tell that inside story to every Santa Claus." And that's exactly what Elgin's doing right now.
The DuraPower mainspring eliminates 99% of all repairs due to steel mainspring failures.
So be sure to see the stunning new Lord and Lady Elgin watches at your jewelers, the only watches in the world with this amazing assurance of dependability and continuing accuracy. Watches that have won the admiration of men and women most particular about style. Just as surely as Christmas is on the way, you or someone you love will be happier with an Elgin watch.
Laughter and song are as traditional a part of Thanksgiving as, well, the Elgin Watch Company's 2 Hours of Stars. And when Elgin was preparing its guest list, it was only natural when it came to songs that they should think of 4 boys who've been burnishing ballads so long and so artfully that they become a show business fixture. They played a command performance for the King and Queen of England. They've sung in Europe and Australia. But they couldn't be more welcome anywhere than they are right here this Thanksgiving Day. The Mills Brothers.
Confess, why don't you confess? Why don't you reveal to me the way that you feel? Confess, it isn't a crime to open your heart to me and say that you're mine. How long must I keep waiting for a tender word from you? The sweetest rose starts fading when the sunshine won't come through. Confess, please don't make me guess. If you really care for me, then darling, confess. Confess, 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 why don't you confess? Why don't you reveal to me for the way that you feel? Confess, confess, it isn't a crime to open your heart to me and say that you're mine. How long must I keep waiting for a tender word from you? The sweetest rose starts fading when the sunshine won't come through. Confess, please don't make me guess. If you really care for me, then darling, confess, confess, confess. If you could care, then darling, confess.
Brothers. That's wonderful. We'll be looking forward to your encore. You know, I've been on hand for the Elgin Watch Company's 2-hour stars now for 6 out of its 7 years. And yet every time Thanksgiving Day comes around, I get the same old thrill of anticipation. To me, it always recalls boyhood days back in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The air was filled with a sharp, sweet scent of wood smoke. The first soft falling snow seemed to wrap the land in still enchantment. And you could hear the wind softly calling,
Yo-ho, Mr. Mitchie!
Miss Vera Vane! Ah, Miss Meg, back to celebrate Thanksgiving with me just like a pilgrim.
Yes, but I'm still not making any progress.
Oh, I don't know, Miss Meg. Last night I dreamed about you.
You did?
Uh-huh.
Oh, if there's anything I admire, it's a man who lives dangerously. Tell me all about it.
Well, I dreamed we were sitting together in front of a fire, and you moved closer and closer toward me as the flames mounted higher and higher. And then suddenly the fire flickered out, and I woke up.
Well, throw another log on the fire and let's start over. Why did you have to wake up at that moment?
Oh, just lucky, I guess. After all, Miss Meg, I'm what you call the Latin type, so I really prefer the Latin type of woman. Fiery, vivacious, with red blood in her veins.
What do you think I have in mind? Tomato juice? Sometimes I think I'm the Chinese type, though.
The Chinese type?
Yes, so many men tell me to take a slow boat to China.
Ah, Miss Meg, you haven't changed a bit. You're just the same as ever. Utterly and completely, shall we put it, charming?
Yes, let's put it there, and don't you dare move it. But you know, Mr. Beachy, I really have changed. Yes, I have. I've become a patron of the arts. From now on, Mr. Amici, I'm devoting myself to music.
Oh, you love music?
No, just musicians. I don't mind telling you, Mr. Amici, that I'm looking for some likely young prospect to take under my wing right now.
Oh, really, Miss Veg? Well, then I'm sure you'll want to meet the young man whose album, Previn Plays the Piano, is at the top of the bestseller list. May I present Andre Previn?
Mr. Amici, he's just a boy. I'm observing, of course, not complaining. How old are you, dear?
19. Andre started playing the piano when he was 5. Back in Germany, he was regarded as a boy wonder.
Oh, really? You know, when I was a girl, I used to wonder what I was, too. Oh, how often I wished when I was a child I had the chance to play the piano.
Oh, I wouldn't feel too bad, Miss Veg. After all, when you were a girl, they didn't have pianos.
Oh, Mr. Amici. Oh, bless every little white bristle in your mustache.
Well, I think you'd make an excellent pianist, Miss Vague. I couldn't help noticing the shape of your hands.
Oh, really?
Yes. They're so long and tapering. How did your fingers get so strong and yet so soft and pliant?
Well, I'm on the night shift at the dairy farm.
Of course, you know, Miss Veg, Andre's not only a pianist, he's also a composer-conductor and works for Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, the producers of Hills of Home, starring Lassie, Edmund Gwenn, and Donald Crisp.
That's right. I'm composing a song for Lassie.
Oh, is that so? What are you calling it? Come to me, my melancholy? Silly girl. I suppose you're really interested in the classics, aren't you, Mr. Previn?
Yes, you really haven't lived, Miss Vague, until you've had a taste of Beethoven's Fifth.
My goodness, a boy his age drinking hard liquor. My goodness, a boy his age drinking hard liquor.
Miss Veg, Beethoven is one of the great masters.
Well, yes, of course. What am I thinking of? For a moment, his name slipped my mind.
Well, it's easy to slip up there. That's a pretty wet neighborhood.
Oh, that's very funny, Mr. Amici. Very funny. Mr. Amici, has Tarzan heard about those tusks you use for teeth? Now, let's not you and I quarrel. I'm really fond of you, Mr. Amici. And I want you to know that I am familiar with the masters.
You are?
Yes, I mastered Mozart. I've dug into Schumann. And right now I'm going into Haydn.
Yes, do that, Miss Veg. That's a wonderful idea. And while you go into Haydn, suppose Andre Previn makes himself comfortable at the Baldwin and slips into his own treatment of lover, Andre Previn. Elgin, thank you, Andre Previn. They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Bob Hopkins' imitations are not only flattering, they're highly authentic. You know, I've often thought it must be quite a strain to be the wife of an imitator like Bob. She never knows whether she'll be having breakfast with Charlie McCarthy, Bing Crosby, the great Gildersleeve.
Well, now see here, Donnie. You know, I'm always happy to have breakfast with any little lady, Don. Of course, I don't want to get in any trouble around here. Well, bless my soul, if it isn't Hugh Herbert.
Hugh Herbert, where?
Oh, where is he? Where is he? Oh, right here. Woo!
Well, you seem to be enjoying yourself, Hugh.
Woo! Oh, I'm having a terrible time. Can't stay around. Very busy. I promised to meet Frank Morgan.
Oh, Frank can wait?
Wow, my goodness sakes, Don. Wow, I've been waiting around all day. Oh, yeah.
Really, Frank? What have you been waiting for?
Oh, well, I want to get some of that goose we were having for dinner.
Yeah, but Frank, this is Thanksgiving. What makes you so sure you're having goose?
Well, you see, I was out all last night celebrating, and unfortunately I forgot to invite my wife. When I got home this morning, the maid greeted me at the door, and she says, "Oh, Mr. Morgan, is your goose cooked?" Yeah.
And was it?
Well, I didn't stay to find out. You see, my wife has a surplus of good qualities. When she gets excited, she's amazingly short on poise.
Well, why is that?
Short poise for station identification.
Yes, and the Elgin Watch Company will continue 2 hours of stars right after a short poise for station identification.
Oh, Ken, this is too much.
Oh, no, this is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company. Oh, yes.
2 hours of stars, the Elgin Watch Company's 7th annual 2-hour Thanksgiving Day greeting to the nation continues with Don Amici, Jack Benny, Francis Langford, Vera Vague, Mario Lanza, Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, Red Skelton, the Bickersons, the Mills Brothers, Andre Previn, and the Elgin Orchestra and Chorus under the direction of Robert Armbruster. And here again is your host, Don Amici.
It's with good reason that America gives thanks today. Thanks not only for our fields and farms, our forests and fisheries, but for the native ability and creative genius of our scientists, our artists, those who make the clothes we wear and the food we eat. And let's not forget the American housewife. She it was who had to plan today's dinner, to worry about the budget, to shop wisely and save a few pennies here and there. It is in her honor that the Elgin Watch Company and the Elgin Jewelers now present a guest who is intimately familiar with the problems of the housewife and knows from first-hand experience her bitter struggle to keep her table nutritious and plentiful in the face of rising prices. I refer to Mr. Jack Benny. About 3 days ago, I was in my car driving down Sunset Boulevard when I noticed a hitchhiker standing on the corner. He was waving his thumb at me.
Hey, mister. Hey, mister, how about a lift? Going downtown, mister?
Get off of my running board, you bum, before I call... Why, it's Jack Benny.
Yes, Oh, Don Amici.
Oh.
Gee, I'm glad you drove by, Don. Can I ride down a few blocks with you?
Oh, certainly, Jack. Glad to have you.
It's a great help, Don. I'm doing my Thanksgiving shopping for a turkey, and it's hard to get around without a car, you know.
Without a car? What happened to yours?
Well, it's in the shop. I had a terrible accident, you know. Some young kid crashed into me from behind, and crumpled up the whole back of my car.
Oh, must have hit you pretty hard. What was he driving?
A bicycle. But it was one of those three-wheelers, and they're heavy, you know. Lucky nobody was hurt. Whoops! Watch it, Don. You came awfully close to that truck.
Why, you're not nervous, are you, Jack?
Well, no, but, Don, is it all right if I get off this running board and sit inside? I'd feel a lot safer.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. I should have suggested it sooner. Come on, hop in. Where do you want me to drop you off, Jack?
Oh, down here a few blocks. You know that swanky market where all the movie stars shop? I think it's called the Ritz.
Oh, of course I know. The place is very expensive.
Well, I do my shopping just around the corner from there. It's called Max's Thrifty Low Price Cut Rate Market. It's 3 flights up there.
How did you ever find a place like that?
Well, there's an old clothes dealer in the same building, and every now and then I pick up a bargain. You can stop at this corner, Don.
Well, here you are, Jack.
Oh, darn it, I ripped my sleeve. There's luck for you. Adolph Manju wore this suit for 10 years. Nothing ever happened to me. Well, thanks a lot, Don.
You're welcome, Jack.
Oh, by the way, Don, I'll be finished with my shopping in 20 minutes, so if you're coming back this way, I won't have to call for a taxi. No, it takes so long to get one.
Well, I'm sorry, Jack, but I won't be coming back for at least 3 hours.
Oh, good. Then I'll wait for you. I'll see you later, Don.
So long, Jack.
Well, I'd better hurry upstairs before the turkeys are all sold out. Well, this is the second floor. There's a new dentist here where the plumber used to be. Same office.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Would you care to have any teeth pulled?
No, thank you.
Any leaks fixed?
No, I'm just going upstairs to the market. So. Well, this is the third floor. Gee, there's a taxidermist here now. H.G. Smith, taxidermist.
Good morning, sir.
Oh, good morning.
Have you any birds, reptiles, or animals that you'd care to have preserved?
No, thank you. I'm just going upstairs to the market. I'm getting my Thanksgiving turkey.
Well, bring it down. We'll stuff it for you.
No, I'll stuff it myself. I just want it to look good for a couple of days, you know. Phew. Stairs are steep. Well, I guess the man loses some of his pep when he's nearing 40. Well, here's another floor. Gee, a lot of new people have moved in here. Meredith Grimes, mortician.
Good morning, sir. Would you like...
Keep your bony hands off of me. I'm going upstairs to get a turkey. Now, let's see. I'll need a vegetable to go with the turkey. Maybe I'll get a can of peas. But I won't get the Tiger brand this time. They're only 327 peas to the can. Every other brand has 334. Acme only has 330, but they're the giant size. Well, at last. The poultry department looks pretty crowded. I better get in here before there's nothing left.
Hello, Mr. Benny Boy.
Well, hello, Mr. Kitzel. What are you doing here?
I'm doing my Thanksgiving shopping. Did I just buy a turkey?
Oh, did you get a real big one?
Well, who do you think this is standing next to me? My wife?
I'm sorry, that comb had me fooled there. Say, that is a good-sized turkey. How are you going to stuff it?
Well, Well, I'll put in some herring, some matzo balls, chopped liver, a couple of bagels, and I'll cover the whole thing with sour cream.
Well, Mr. Kitzel, won't that spoil the turkey?
Who eats the turkey?
Oh, then why did you buy it?
Mr. Benny, what's Thanksgiving without a turkey?
Oh, I see. Well, I'm going to do my shopping now. Goodbye, Mr. Kitzel, and a happy Thanksgiving.
The feeling is identical.
Thank you. Well, I might as well go in and get it over with.
Hey, Sam, look who just came in here.
Oh, no, you take him, Joe. I had him last time. He bought a half a pound of round steak and followed it all the way through the grinder. If I hadn't pulled his nose out in time, it would have been a pound.
Yeah, I know. I sold him a beef heart the other day, and the way he cried when I trimmed it, you'd think it was his own.
I tell you, that guy Benny watches every move you make. Last week I was waiting on Mrs. Watson, and he made me so nervous I gave her the right change.
Hello, Sam. Hi, Joe. Say, I'd like to look at a nice turkey.
Well, there they are hanging up. Look at them.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that third one from the end is cute. She has nice legs.
That's a tom.
Oh. Well, what are you getting for them? Huh?
Well, the Washington turkeys are 90 cents a pound, the Oregon turkeys are 80 cents a pound, and the California turkeys are 70 cents.
Mm-hmm. Have you got anything a little further south? Something for about 60 or 40 cents. Have you got any Mexican turkeys?
A Mexican turkey? Wait a minute, how's this?
How much is it?
60 centavos a pound.
Centavos?
Si, senor.
Now cut that out! Look, I want a nice plump one, about 6 pounds.
6 pounds? Listen, Benny, I don't know where you got your information, but the only way you can get a 6-pound turkey is to hatch the egg and kill it as it steps out of the shell.
Well, then get the smallest one you have and let me see what it weighs.
Okay. Here's a scrawny one. There. That weighs
Wait a minute. Take that heavy brown paper off the scale. You think you got a sucker here? What are you trying to pull?
I'm not trying to pull anything. That paper is just to keep the scale clean.
Well, keep it clean at your own expense. Take your big fat thumb off of there, too. That's better.
Well, that's a little over 7 pounds. That'll be $4.30.
I'll take it. You better clean it for me.
I suppose you want the feet?
Yes, I use them for back scratchers. They really dig in, you know. Hey, wait a minute. Don't throw that head away.
You want the head?
Certainly, I'm paying for it.
Now I've heard everything. What can you possibly want with a turkey head?
Well, if it's any of your business, I have a badminton court, and it makes a very good shuttlecock. I want the heart, the liver, and the gizzard, too.
Well, this is going to be a shock to you, Benny, but we threw away the feathers.
Well, don't be funny. Now wrap it up, and here's your money. Hey, wait a minute. I'm missing $1. It's gone. I must have dropped it. $1. It's got to be here somewhere. I had it when I came in.
Now, take it easy. You'll find it.
Oh, here's something. That's $1 bill.
That's it. Give me it.
Just a second. How do we know this is your $1 bill? It was lying on the floor behind the counter.
It's my dollar, I tell you. I can prove it. The serial number is E66259-3471E, Series 1935C. Now, give me my turkey and let me get out of here. Hey, Don. Oh, Don Amici. Hello, Don.
Jack, are you still here?
Sure, I've been waiting for you. You said you'd be back, you know.
But I was delayed. I thought sure you'd take a taxi home. How long you been waiting?
Since 10:30 this morning.
But, Jack, it's after midnight.
It is?
Yes. Gosh, you must have been lonesome.
No, I had the turkey with me. We didn't.
Well, hop in. I'll drive you home.
Well, thanks.
Well, did you get a nice turkey, Jack?
Oh, a beauty. It's imported, you know. It comes from Mexico. And they're the very best.
A Mexican turkey?
Yes, instead of chestnuts, you stuff it with chili con carne. It's very tasty.
Say, how come you know so much about turkeys?
What? What'd you say, Don?
I said, how come you know so much about turkeys?
Did you ever see The Horn Blows at Midnight? Drive on, Mr. Amici. Drive on.
Jack certainly has his little difficulties, Don. Say, isn't that Jack's telephone operator, Mabel Flapsaddle, walking in?
Yeah, she's another one of his little difficulties. Let's get out of here before she chews our ear off.
Oh, Mr. Amici, Mr. Carpenter. Well, maybe that gentleman sweeping up the stage can help me. Hey, you with the broom.
Yeah?
I thought you might be able to help me. I saw you standing there with that broom.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not giving any rides today. Now, what happened to your own broom? Did you lose it Halloween?
Oh, don't be silly. I want to buy a Lady Elgin watch, and I thought you could tell me where I could find the nearest jeweler. You know, all over America, intelligent women are wearing Elgins.
Then I have just the thing for you.
An Elgin?
No, a shmoo.
A shmoo?
Yes, you'd be amazed the way the shmoo watches catch attention. When people see you wearing one on the street, they'll come up and say, "What is it?"
They do that now, and I'm not even wearing one.
I suppose you've heard of its wonderful new features. 4 push buttons, a pedometer, a built-in radio, and it lights up at night. I wear a shmoo, and everywhere I go, I glow.
Yeah, well, if you ask me, you just blew a fuse. I don't want a shmoo. I want a Lady Elgin with one of those new rust-proof Durapower mainsprings. They eliminate 99% of repairs due to steel mainspring failures.
But, my dear madam...
I happen to be a miss.
You certainly are. As I was about to say, the new shmoo even contains a compass. Have you ever boxed a compass?
No, but I've wrestled with the Palladium. I'm a regular Durapower mainspring the way I hold my springiness.
Yes, but with the shmoo, you can tell what time it is in the Sandwich Islands, Angkor Wat, and Doo-Wah-Diddy. There's a dial for everything.
Well, how do you tell what time it is here?
Dial the telephone company.
Well, you might as well give up right now, old man. Miss Flapsaddle. Miss Flapsaddle is like thousands of other smart holiday shoppers. She knows it's appearance and timekeeping performance that counts in a watch. When you buy an Elgin, you're getting the smartest in styling and the last word in accuracy.
Oh, you're so right. Confidentially, I hate the new schmoos. That's why I've been trying to sell one to Miss Flapsaddle.
I don't understand. If you hate them, what about the one you're wearing?
Yeah, that's the one I've been trying to sell Miss Flapsaddle. Oh, I'm a devil, aren't I? Goodbye.
Thank you, Sarah Berner and Frank Nelson. Longfellow wrote, "Music is the universal language of mankind." And here is a girl who really speaks that language. A familiar face to GIs all over the world during the war years, and a familiar voice to all of us, lovely Frances Langford.
It was just one of those things, just one of those crazy flings, one of those bells that now and then ring. Just one of those things. It was just one of those nights. Just one of those fabulous flights. A trip to the moon on gossamer wings. Just one of those things. If we'd thought a bit of the end of it when we started painting the town, we'd have been aware that our love affair was too hot not to cool down. So goodbye, dear, and amen. Here's hoping we meet now and then. It was great fun, but it was just one of those things. a bit of the end of it when we started painting the town. We'd have been aware that our love affair was too hot not to cool down. So goodbye, dear, and amen. Here's hoping we meet now and then. It was great fun, but it was just one of those things.
Say, Miss Vague, now that you've become a patron of music, how would you like to take Frances Langford under your wing? I think she's far and away one of the country's best singers.
That's just where I like her best, far and away.
Oh, Miss Vague, do I detect a note of jealousy creeping into your voice? Is that green-eyed monster coming into view again?
Yes, she is, and you can blame the Elgin Watch Company. They invited her here.
Miss Fig, how nice to see you again.
Yes.
I hope I'm not intruding.
Oh, no, of course not, dear. Butt right in.
We were just talking about your voice, Frances. I'm always amazed that so many beautiful notes can come out of that mouth.
Oh, I'm not. There's room in there for Fred Waring and his choir. No offense, dear. Just a little joke, you know.
Oh, that's quite all right. You're all gussied up this afternoon, Miss Vague. Is that a new dress?
No, this thing, no. It's just something I reached in and grabbed out of the closet.
Oh, you poor thing. You got them off bag, didn't you?
Oh, you're so clever, darling. You know, I do admire your little sallies. You have so much poise and personality.
Really, Miss Vague?
Yes, that's you. Poison personality.
Oh, girls.
Well,
Please
sorry.
now, Miss Vague, not in front of Mario Lanza.
You mean the handsome opera singer?
Yes, I was waiting for the wind to die down so I could introduce him to you. Miss Vague, Mary Olanza.
I do. I mean, how do you do? For a moment, I thought I was on the bride and groom program. I understand Mr. Lance's had a very interesting career.
Oh, yes. Mario was just a GI visiting Hollywood when he was invited to a party given by some stars. He made such a hit singing it led to his debut in Hollywood Bowl.
Well, I shouldn't wonder, Mr. Lancer. The moment I heard you, I got goose pimples. I'd like to take you under my wing.
Now I've got goose pimples.
Tell me, Mr. Lancer, how in the world do you get those exquisite pear-shaped toes?
Well, it's very simple, Miss Vague. I have what is known as an elliptical esophagus.
Oh, you poor boy, could I get you a pillow? You must have just worn yourself out studying before you arrived in Hollywood, didn't you?
No, I really didn't study at all. I picked up everything myself.
Oh, I see. I don't suppose you're in the mood to pick anything up today. Mr. Lancer, I don't mind telling you that I'm a patron of the arts. I discovered Lawrence Melchior and Arturo Toscanini.
Well, you're a little late with Mario, Miss Vague. MGM's already signed him to a 7-year contract. They even got him to lose weight.
Oh.
Used to weigh 270 pounds.
Yes, I lost 100 pounds. There's hardly anything left of me.
Well, I'm glad you kept the best part. You know, Mr. Lanza, I'm quite a student of the opera myself, you know.
Oh, really? Well, how do you like Puccini and Verdi?
Oh, love it. Love it. Of course, I really prefer Ravioli and Spumoni.
But Miss Vague, Puccini and Verdi are composers of the opera.
Yes.
Oh.
You know, a few weeks ago I went to see Il Trovatore.
Oh, really? What hospital is he in?
Miss Vague, Il Trovatore is not a man named Trovatore who is ill.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear he's feeling better. You know, opera can be so upsetting. The night I went to see Siegfried, I went home and dreamed the dragon that attacked Siegfried was squeezing the breath out of me.
What do you suppose that meant?
Means I'll have to stop sleeping with my girdle on. Oh, shame on me. You know, I'm seriously considering putting on my own opera, Mr. Amici. I went to the heads of the Metropolitan, and I think they're going to let me use the magic flute.
The Metropolitan is going to let you use the magic flute? What makes you think so?
Well, they told me to blow.
And did you?
Yes, I did.
Well, here's your chance to do it again, Miss Vague. While Mario goes ahead with that encore, Elgin has promised I'll listen. From Puccini's Tosca, here's the thrilling aria, E lucevan le stelle, sung by Mario Lanza.
Lucevan le stelle, e volezzava la terra, stride all'uscio dell'orto, e un passo sfiorava l'arena. Entrava la fragrante mi cadea fra le braccia. Oh, dolci baci languide carezze, mentre framante le belle forme di sempre sogno mio d'amore, l'ora è fuggita e voglia disperato, e voglia disperato.
Sometime this afternoon, a scene like this may take place in your home. Dinner is over, a wonderful dinner that Mother prepared, and she, bless her heart, is impatient to get the dishes done so that, as she puts it, so we can talk.
Come on, son. Let's get at these dishes. What happened to Mary? Where's Dad?
Oh, Mary and Dad have disappeared upstairs for a very important conference.
Whatever's on your mind, Dad, here's the place to discuss it. My old room, where I used to tell you all my problems. Remember when I thought the Roberts boy had broken my heart?
Yes, I recall that sad experience very vividly. But I didn't come up here to talk over broken hearts. You know, Mary, your mother and I have been married for 30 years. This will be our 30th Christmas together. And I want to give her something very special. For all the things she's done for all of us and, well, you know what I mean, Mary.
Of course I do, Dad. And I have an idea for you. You know, Mother has never had a really good watch, Dad. The kind that a fellow would give his best girl.
Well, say, she's my best girl.
Sure, and this is the perfect present for her. A watch. A Lady Elgin watch. Dad, they're simply exquisite. The most beautiful watches I've ever seen. Oh, Mother will be thrilled with an Elgin. I saw some just yesterday when I was at the jeweler's looking for a gift for John.
Honey, you've hit it. The very thing. I'll go down to the jeweler's and pick out an Elgin watch. Come on now, let's skip back downstairs before she gets suspicious that we're up to something.
For mother, for any loved one, an Elgin will surely say what's in your heart. For Elgins are something extra special, outside and in. You can see that they're the most beautiful watches ever to grace a wrist. But there's an inside story equally thrilling. An Elgin, and only an Elgin, is powered by a miracle mainspring. This DuraPower mainspring eliminates 99% of all repairs due to steel mainspring failures. It gives you a permanency of time-keeping performance never before possible in any watch. No name on the dial of a watch has brought so much Christmas joy as Elgin. Two Hours of Stars will continue after a short pause for station identification. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company. The Elgin Watch Company's 7th annual 2-hour Thanksgiving Day greeting to America, our hospitalized veterans and servicemen overseas, and neighbors around the world continues with Don Amici, Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, Vera Vague, Red Skelton, Francis Langford, the Bickersons, the Mills Brothers, Andre Previn, Mario Lanza, and the Elgin Orchestra and Chorus under the direction of Robert Armbruster. And here again is your host for these 2 hours of stars, Don Amici.
Once again, may I say to those of you who have just joined us, Happy Thanksgiving and welcome to 2 Hours of Stars. This is the 7th straight year the Elgin Watch Company and the Elgin Jewelers have invited your favorite stars to join us in our holiday open house.